trying to decide between the Momcozy Wellness 1 and Eufy S1 Pro wearable breast pumps. Stick around. In this video, I'm going to walk you through their key features, similarities and differences so you can easily decide which one is the best for you and your circumstances. So let's get started by taking a look at the suction. They are extremely comparable. The Momcozy Wellness 1 is 295 millimeters of mercury suction strength compared to 300 millimeters mercury suction strength for the Eufy S1 Pro. So it's a 5 millimeters of mercury difference. Really, you're probably not going to notice this on a day-to-day level. In terms of suction levels, so how strong those suction pulls are going to be and how easy we can adjust those. With the Wellness 1, you have 12 different levels you can choose from. This is actually quite a lot for a wearable breast pump, and I really love that they have so many, so it can really allow you to fine tune that suction level so you can really find a suction pull that works best for you. In comparison, the Eufy has 7. Again, it's more than enough to find a level that suits you and your body, but you do have those additional 5 with the Wellness 1. So again, it's just that little bit more control, customization, being able to fine tune your pumping. In terms of modes, now on the Wellness, you actually have 4 different modes that you can choose from on the pump itself. So I love that you don't necessarily have to use the app with this pump. It really does make it easy to find an option that works well on the pump. So both of these have your standard stimulation mode, which are the shorter suctions for initiating your letdown. And then you have the longer drawn out expression mode for drawing out your breast milk. Then with the Wellness 1, you have the addition of a mixed mode. So that is a combination of those shorter suctions followed by a longer expression. And then you also have a milk boost mode on the pump itself. So I love that these are inbuilt. However, that said, you can also use the Wellness 1 with the Momcozy app. It is one of the more advanced apps for this pump. So within that, you can adjust things like your speed cycle. So if we're talking about the suction levels, that's how strong those pulls are. And then your speed cycle is how fast those pulls are. So you are able to adjust those within the app, 3 different options from a slower to a medium and then fast. Again, this is all about fine tuning and customizing your pump so it best works for you. There really isn't a one size fits all when it comes to pumping. Some people find that they respond better to fast pulls, like in the stimulation mode. Some respond better to the slower, deeper pulls. It's really going to be a test and see which works best for your body. But when we have a pump that we are able to fine tune and have more options to find what works for us, that's where the benefits really kick in. So within the Momcozy app, you have a ton of these customization features. There are also additional professional modes that you can choose from. So if you prefer just a plug and play, you have that option too. Now with the Eufy S1 Pro, you only have the 2 modes on the pump. So you only have the stimulation and the expression mode. So ideally, you'll want to use the Eufy with the app. Inside the app, you have the additional professional mode. So again, you can choose one of those and let it do its thing. You do also have the customization within the app. You can set timers for the heating elements. You can, again, adjust those customization speed cycles. So both these apps I do really love. The main difference here is with the Momcozy Wellness 1, you have the more options to be using on the pump itself. So you have those 4 modes rather than really having to use it with the app. So again, that's just a little bit more options to choose from. Are you going to constantly be using it with the app, or would you prefer to have those features without the app? Something to consider. Now, both of these come with heating. So the Eufy wearable breast pumps were the first to introduce the heating element. So behind here on your pump, there is a heating pad. Now, you can choose to turn this on or off, but a lot of mums are really loving the heating, helping with not just comfort, but also output. So it is something that we are seeing a lot more in wearable breast pumps. And I think that this is really a good thing coming through. So with the Eufy, you have 7 different heating options. So you can turn these on and off and then choose between. They heat from 35 degrees to 41 degrees Celsius. That's 95 degrees to 105 degrees Fahrenheit. You can adjust these on the pump or again in the app. And in the app, you can also pop it on a timer. So if you only want 10 minutes or 5 minutes, you can have this based on a timer, which I do really like. Now, the Wellness 1, they have only 3 different heating options. Again, is behind your flange. The difference here is with the Eufy, it's only in this top half where you have your heating pad. With the Wellness 1, it is a full circle, focusing around your nipple area, but you do only have the 3 heating options. So 37 degrees Celsius, 39 and 41. That's 98, 102 or 105 degrees Fahrenheit. Having the 3 settings, I don't think it's a huge disadvantage. It still lets you be able to choose. But again, I really do like having more options, more customization. So having the 7 with the Eufy S1 Pro can be a little bit more beneficial if you are somebody that's a little bit sensitive to the heat. Now, here's where the Wellness 1 steps things up quite a bit. And you'll notice here, you can see these 5 little dots. If I take off the flange, these are actually vibration plates. So the Wellness 1 comes with your heating, but it also comes with massage. Now, I would call this more like a vibration feature rather than a massage. If I turn this on, I don't know how well you can see this. They don't really, but if I put my finger on it, they've just got a slight vibration to these. Again, this can be really help with comfort and output. So it can be a really great additional feature. You can get the same impact by using a secondary massager that you can place on while you have your pump on. But being inbuilt, it's just that added convenience and I guess the additional, again, customization, so you can really choose what works best for you. I will say, if you are somebody that is a little bit sensitive, you may find that you don't like the vibration feature. But again, some people love it. It is really just what works best for you and your body. it will automatically shut off after 15 minutes. Okay, so in terms of size difference, they are essentially the same width, but you can see that the Wellness one is slightly taller, but I do prefer this teardrop shape to it over the semicircle, but wearing them, they're both probably going to look very similar. In terms of weight, again, they're actually really very similar. 320 grams for your Wellness one, 325 for your Eufy S1 Pro. So again, very negligible in terms of difference. Flange sizing, they are both a 24 millimeter. They both come with an arrangement of flange inserts. So your 17, 19, and 21 millimeters. These are great if you are not a 24 millimeter nipple size. Highly recommend that you always, before pumping with a new pump, that you check your flange size as well as regularly through your pumping journey, because it will change. But if, say, you're a 19 millimeter, you can take one of these flange inserts, simply pop it in, and it will change your flange diameter down to the size of your insert. Really like that they both include these within their kit, because it means that you can get pumping right from the start. They have nipple rulers as well, which make it really easy to check your sizing. So right from the start, having these is a big plus. They both have them, so I like that. Flange, though, we do have a few differences in the design size style. So with your Eufy, it is this, it's a little bit more rigid than some of the soft silicone, but it is a very flexible silicone. But what you'll notice is it has this lip. Now this needs to get pushed in and lined up, and then we're going to need to make sure we lift this over, and we are always going to want to get this in and then make sure it is clipped in nice and smooth before we're pumping. Any gaps here, air gaps, that tends to lead to an air gap or loss of suction, or even potentially milk leaks. So it's just a little bit more fiddly with this design to make sure that we always have this nice and secure. It's not a huge issue, but it is just a little bit more fiddly, especially when you compare it to the flange of the Wellness one, which is just a magnetic clip-in. Now, that said, not everybody likes magnetics. If you're not a fan of magnetics, the Wellness one does come with them, so something to keep in mind. But it is a very nice, easy pull apart. That's your pump motor versus the Eufy, where it sits on top. In terms of design as well, one of the things, sorry, let me just pop this back together, I really do like about the Wellness one, you can see here that you have an LED screen. Super easy to look down and check where you're at with your pumping session, especially if you're not on the app or wanting to be glued to your app. So if you're working away, you might want to start it with your app, but then you might just want to have a quick glance where you're at with your pumping. It's got the timer. You can easily see what levels, what features you've got turned on. So this is your heating, this is your massage. You can see what level, what mode. Really great for a quick visual. With the Eufy, it's really one that I feel you need to have with the app, be using it with the app. You can see here whether your heating's on. You can flick through to see what levels you're on, but there's no timer, there's no LED screen. You don't know what these dots are, your suction level, but to know what mode you're on, it's not really, it's on here, but it's not super clear. So I do think that that's a little bit of a disadvantage with the Eufy S1 Pro, unless you plan to use it constantly with the app. Now, where the Eufy S1 Pro does shine is in terms of battery. Now, the Wellness One has a battery life of up to 150 minutes of runtime off a single charge, which is really decent for a wearable breast pump, especially considering it's got heating and the massage. Will say if you are using the heating on consistently and the massage, it will drain your battery faster. So you might only find you get 90 minutes off a full charge if you're using both those features. So something to consider. There is no carry case or rechargeable carry case with the Wellness One. With the Eufy, you have your rechargeable carry case. Now, this is specific to the S1 Pro. The Eufy S1 doesn't come with this rechargeable carry case, neither does the Eufy E20. So that's one of the key differences between those models. But seeing we're doing the Eufy S1 Pro, the biggest advantage is this carry case. Now, it is rechargeable. You simply pop your pump in. When the battery is low, it will light up and you can recharge your pump that way. It does also have magnetics on the top here, but not within your flange part. So slight difference. This is, well, you can see here now that's recharging. This is also rechargeable. Now this will last for up to 5 days of use for your breast pump. So fantastic if you are looking for a pump that is portable, on the go. If you're somebody that forgets to put your pumps on charge regularly, simply pop them back here in your case and away you go. It will recharge for you. So I do love that. I am somebody that does forget things quite easily. So I do find this very advantageous. So something to consider. Now, I'll turn them both on so you can compare the noise. They are very similar. So let's just turn them both up to full speed and turn that on. So that was in the stimulation mode. You could hear those quick suctions, and that was on the top suction. So we'll turn. Sorry. So the Wellness One might be slightly louder, but honestly, I feel like they're both very similar. Less than 50 dB, 46 decibels, based on what the manufacturers are saying. Both you'll probably hear in a completely silent room, especially on top suction. Bit of background noise. Both of these will be quite quiet. So I don't think that there's a huge difference there between these two pumps. In terms of price, now recommended retail price around $349 for the Eufy S1 Pro. Only $20 more for recommended retail price is the Wellness One at $369. We'll say both of these go on sale very regularly, so do check for prices. Also check the description because I do have codes from time to time, especially for the Momcozy. For $20 different, it's not really that much when we're talking a premium wearable breast pump. Neither of these are budget. You're talking around the $350 mark. So neither of these are cheap. They are both premium wearable breast pumps. But to be honest, that's what you would be expecting with these features, with the heating, with the rechargeable carry case, the massage. Both are app pumps, based pumps. So Which one would I choose? Really depends on my circumstances and what I'm wanting from a wearable breast pump. The Wellness one, I really do love how much customization you have with it. You have the additional suction levels, you have the additional modes on the pump, really easy to see visually. You have heating and you have massage. You also have within the app all that customization. So I really do feel that this is a great wearable breast pump, and when I choose, if I'm ideally looking for more customization and overall comfort. Now, that's not to say that I don't really love the Eufy S1 Pro. If you've seen any of my videos, you know that I really do love this wearable breast pump, but I do think it's better for convenience and portability. I think this is great if you are going to use it with the app. Most of its features are within the app. You do get that additional heating for the comfort side of things. But again, this rechargeable carry case is the biggest seller or selling point for the Eufy S1 Pro, along with the heating and its app. So I hope this video helps. If you have any questions, please ask and I'll do my very best to answer them. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. That really does help the content get seen by other pumping mums. And if you want more videos like this, then hit that subscribe. Cheers.